Hi fairies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Fifi. It's so nice to have you here. I hope you stay a while. Today we are going to be reacting to the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I am doing this because I kind of voted. I say kind of because some of the categories, if not most of them that I voted in, I hadn't read even one book from those categories. So I was just going off of vibes. But I'm curious to see who the winners are. So let's just get right into it. So the first category is fiction, and with 167,509 votes, the winner is My Friends by Frederick Backman. I believe I did vote for this book, even though I haven't read it yet, and I literally haven't read a single book in this category. So yeah, I definitely was going off of vibes and what I've seen and heard about this book and this author, but I genuinely feel like he is deserving of this award. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've also heard great things about Wild Dark Shore. Okay, I've heard great things about, Heart the Lover by Lily King. I want to read Lily King's other book, Writers and Lovers, before this one. I do think every single one of these books look really good, but I just haven't been able to get to them. I don't even know why, to be honest. But yeah, the next category is historical fiction, and with 254,774 votes, we have the winner, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Honestly, I can't lie, I feel like this is so deserved. Again, I don't think I've read any book in this category, which is so crazy. Like, I've read over 100 books this year. Where was I? When all the, like, what is going on? Why haven't I read any of these? I've heard great things about the Lilac People. I've heard amazing things about Homesick. I've heard great things about The Bright Years, even Broken Country and the Book Club for Troublesome Women. I've heard amazing things about. And Atmosphere is one book that I really have been wanting to get to this year, but I haven't had the time to. So I'm obviously going off of vibes again. I do think Atmosphere is going to be a five-star read for me. I've only read one other Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I've said this a lot of times, but that book was Daisy Jones and the Six. I gave that book 5 stars and I sobbed at the end. So I have really, really high hopes for Atmosphere, and I really hope it lives up to my expectations. The next category, mystery and thriller, and the winner with 77,149 votes is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I have read the first two books in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, and I do plan to read the third one soon enough. And I love those books. I think I gave the first one 4 stars, and the second one, I don't know, maybe four as well. But I don't know. I feel like Dan Brown is here, S.A. Cosby is here, Richard Osman is here. I just feel like it's not the most deserved book in this category. I haven't read any of the books in this category once again. Okay, but I do plan to read some of them. Okay, I have read the first book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and I have read the first 4 books in the Robert Landon series by Dan Brown. I plan to read a different book by S.A. Cosby before this one, but I also have read a number of Lisa Joel books and plan to read this one because I've heard amazing things. I just don't feel like Not Quite Dead is deserving because I haven't heard the best things about it. Like, people love it, but I've also seen people not really like it. So yeah, I don't know honestly. Now the romance category. With 117,054 votes, we have the winner, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. That is very shocking to me. It really is, because I heard a lot of people not liking this book. I haven't read it. I've read 4 Emily Henry books, or 5 even, and I haven't gotten to this one. I did plan to, but I just heard people not like it. Like, it's everybody's least favorite by her. So how is it the winner? I'm so confused. Especially when we have books like Can't Get Enough and really loved books like If It Makes You Happy and, First Time Caller. I feel like all those books were more appreciated and loved by the public. Even the favorites, especially. I'm like confused how Great Big Beautiful Life is the winner, to be honest. But I think it obviously has to do with Emily Henry being so freaking popular and people having an affinity for her in the first place. So yeah, I don't really care, to be honest. I don't plan to read any of these books. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I don't love the romance genre. And if there's any book that I would actually read in this genre, it's The Favorites. And I've heard that it's not even a romance per se, it's more of a fiction, a drama. So yeah, I would like to get into Kennedy Ryan. Okay, I've heard amazing things about her books. I just don't love contemporary romance, and every time I try to start a contemporary romance book, it physically pains me. It's also very curious that there are only contemporary romance books in this genre. Like, where are the literary romances? That's very interesting. Another category that I am not the biggest fan of, especially right now, romantasy. Oh my god. With 298,565 votes, we have Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarus. The thing is that I actually don't have anything nice to say. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, what do you mean that's the winner when Wild Reverence is here? I also saw a lot of people not really like Onyx Storm, so that's just very confusing to me because I've heard better things about books like Alchemist, even though I don't plan to ever read such a book. I've heard amazing things about Knight and the Moth. I've heard even greater things about Shield or Sparrows. And like Rebecca Ross, Wild Reverence, I just fear this is a popularity thing and I don't know how to feel about that. So I think I'm going to move on because I genuinely don't have anything nice to say. Yeah. Now, the fantasy genre, we have our winner with 102,408 votes, Berry Albums in the Midnight Soil. That's very interesting. I haven't read a V.E. book. I have heard great things about her and about this book, but it's curious to me that she is the winner. Then we have R.F. Kwong, we have Brandon Sanderson here, we have James Islington. That's very interesting because I feel like I've heard amazing things about books like The Raven Scholar and The Strength of the Few. I mean, I've heard amazing things about The Will of the Many, amazing things about every single Brandon Sanderson book and Stephanie Garber. I don't know. It does feel like a bit of a popularity contest. Like, what do you mean only 50,000 people voted for Brandon Sanderson? I've only read one book by him and I give that book 5 stars. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to feel. And I do want to read literally every single one of these books. Tell me why I haven't read any of them. Maybe I should make a video of me reading some of these books because it's so weird. Why? Next category is science fiction, and the winner with 45,287 votes is The Compound by Aileen Rall. I can't lie, I've only heard bad things about this book. Like, I don't understand how it's the winner, but also I don't really care for this category. It is crazy to me that that is the winner because I've heard that it's not really science fiction. So, yeah, I mean, the poppy fields, I've heard amazing things about. So, this is all just very intriguing to me. Can't lie. Now, for the horror category, we have the winner with 59,603 votes Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I haven't heard about this book, okay, but it's very intriguing that Stephen King isn't the winner here. And also, I've heard amazing things about Play Nice by Rachel Harrison and Hunger Stone by Kat Dunn. And also, this one, We Love You Bunny. I've heard amazing things too. So, this is interesting. It's honestly not a genre that I really care for, but I am intrigued. Okay. Now we have debut novels. Yeah, to be expected, I guess. The winner with 165,184 votes is Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. Yeah, I also don't have nice things to say, even though I haven't read this book, but crazy that books like The Bright Years and When the Tide Held the Moon, Homeseeking, The Lilac People, Loved One, like these are books that I have heard incredible things about, and I have heard great things from the Romantasy TikTok crew about Alchemized. But yeah, it's very obvious that it's more of a popularity thing. Favorite audiobook with 107,386 votes on a storm. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say. I've not listened to any of these audiobooks, but I guess. YA fantasy and sci-fi. The winner with 300,427 votes, Sunrise on the Reaping. And I have in fact read this book. I gave it 4.5 stars, I believe. I really, really, really liked it. And I do think it's quite deserving. Okay, looking through this list, I have read Rebel Witch. I have read the first book in the Legend Born series. I have read The Rose Bargain. That's about it, to be honest. But I do think Sunrise on the Reaping clears. There's not a lot of books in this category that I would like or care to read, but I think Hazelthorn and this Heavenly Tyrant series. I also would kind of like to read this Woven Kingdom, the series. I've heard amazing things, I can't lie, but I don't know. I don't know. I've just been very disillusioned by romantasy books, especially YA romantasy recently. So Let me know, convince me. YA fiction with 46,319 votes. We have Fix Skating by Lynn Painter. I feel like I've only heard bad things about this book. So that's interesting. I haven't read any of these books. I mean, I read We Were Liars, and I had no idea there was like another sequel. I think there's a sequel, and then I think this would be the third book. I have heard amazing things about I Am Not Jessica Chen and this author in general. I've heard great things about the Trashers and even better things about When Devils Sing. So it's very interesting to me that Fake Skating would be the winner. I don't know about all that. To be honest, I don't have a say because, like I said, I haven't read any of these books, but it's just very interesting to see the mind of readers, especially on Goodreads. It's eye-opening, I can't lie. Now for non-fiction with 114,142 votes, we have Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. I can't lie, I don't care for this genre like at all. I wouldn't have cared either way, but I have heard amazing things about Everything is Tuberculosis. Okay, the only book by John Green I have read is The Fault in Our Stars, and I really, really like that book. I read it when I was like 14 or 15, so maybe I would need to reread it, but I do want to, read more of John Green's books. But yeah, I don't really know who I would have picked for this genre. I can't lie. Then we have memoirs. This is another genre that I'm not sure I care too much about. I've only read one or two memoirs in my lifetime and I like them. I just don't care too much for them. But the winner with 57,544 votes is The House of My Mother by Shari Frankie. I've heard so much about this book and this story in general, and I've heard that it's a very moving and deeply reflective book, and also very sad because we know that these people were abused and, obviously have gone through so much trauma. So it's very interesting and amazing that she would write a book about that and have it so publicly and universally appreciated. I'm not sure if I actually voted for this category, but I can't lie. I probably would have voted for Tina Knowles, matriarch, because Beehive. Yeah, but I do think Sherry Frankie is very deserving of this. Finally, another genre I don't give a fuck about: history and biography. The winner with 45,858 votes, How to Kill a Witch by Claire Michelle and Zoe Venditozzi. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But yeah, I don't know anything about any of these books. Okay. I don't think I've heard about even one of them. I feel like these are books that would be recommended for you by all these girls on TikTok that are like, so you want to be incredibly, disgustingly educated? Here are some book recommendations for you. Yeah, I don't give a sorry. So yeah, that is the Goodreads Choice Awards voted by the readers themselves. Let me know what your thoughts are, honestly, because I have very interesting and conflicting thoughts about most of these books. And let me know if you've read any of these books, how many of them you've read, your thoughts about them, if the winners are deserving. Just talk to me down below. I love reading and replying comments. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram if you want to be book besties or just besties in general. I would really love and appreciate that. But for now, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.